Hello crafters and welcome. Today I'm making two cards and they both have the same design, but the techniques I used really make them quite different. So to start off with, I'm using this Creative Stamping issue 47 set, and this will be carded. I did a whole video on it. And to start off with, I'm going to take the Mistletoe outline. I'm just going to stamp that down onto my cardstock sheet panel, my card panel, and I'm just going to do this all over my card base, and I'm trying to not leave too many gaps because I am not intending on adding any dots or anything between the mistletoe, but you can totally do that. That's a very fun idea, but this is how I did mine. So once that was done, I'm going to take my green ink and I'm using the stamp that actually fills in the outline, sorry, and I just did that all over. And now I'm going to take my third set, which is the red, and there's also a layering set, but I didn't use that because just time. And anyway, now I'm going to add my sentiment. I'm using a Do Crafts stamp set called Happy Christmas, I wonder why, and it's a very nice scripty set. I can't talk today, sorry. It's a very nice scripty set, and I'm just going to put that into my Misty, line it up in the middle of the card to the best of my ability, and I'm going to stamp it down with some Versamark ink. And then I embossed it with some gold Do Crafts embossing powder, and it gave a very nice effect and it really set off the card very well. So there it is, and here is the card complete. So for my second card, I'm using the exact same stamps. I actually just used the outline this time, and I'm taking it out. I'm going to put it onto my acrylic block, and I'm going to be stamping all over my watercolor panel this time. This is, I think, Canson paper or whatever I had actually cut up, and I'm just going to be stamping that all over, trying not to overlap them, but if it does happen, you can always just brush away the embossing powder and heat set it as normal and you'll be fine. But it's obviously better not to do it if you at all can. And I'm just going to stamp that all over, filling in the gaps again. I didn't add any little dots between, but that would be a very nice look. So now that all my embossing is done, I'm going to take my watercolor set. This is, I think it's available on Michael's, but mine is Rezo Designs or something. So, and I'm just going to cover half of my panel with water, and this helps with the blending, and yeah. So I'm just going to take my water brush and I'm going to color in the leaves using the greens from the set. I think there are about 7 greens, so I did about I did 2 of each colour or something like that. So yeah, I just continue with that. So once all of my green leaves were coloured in, I took the darkest red in the set and I coloured in all of the berries using again my water brush. So at this stage you could just move on to the next step, but honestly I really wanted something in the background. I thought it was a bit boring, and anyway I took my silver pearly watercolours and I coloured in the background. This obviously takes a lot of time, but I think for this card especially it was really worth it, and it added a subtle something in the background. So I also thought I'd show you some other background colours that I did and other cards I did in this design. So I did the red, I did blues, which I think is very oriental, but I kind of really like it, and I also left a lot of them blank. I just used greens sometimes, went over the lines, just really messy. I kind of like that, but my family really didn't, honestly. And then just going some the lines boring. So once that was done and dry, it turned out really nice, and I'm just going to take some table flour as my anti-static powder tool because I haven't invested like the €7 it costs. Anyway, I'm just going to go put that all over the background, and this helps prevent the embossing powder from sticking where you don't want it to. And I'm using that same Happy Christmas set by Craft, sorry, and I'm using the same Versamark ink pad to stamp it down onto my card panel, and I think I did it twice just to get the best impression possible, because you really want your embossing powder to stick. Anyway, once that was done, I took it out and I'm going to cover it with the same, I think I used bronze this time. I think I used bronze, silver and gold, and I think bronze turned out the best because it's just a bit darker than the others, so it stood out. And this is just a very satisfying clip of the embossing powder heating and melting. It's one of my favorite things. It still amazes me to this day, and I think it's a great technique. So anyway, once that was done, I just kind of straightened it out and put it onto my card base with plenty of tape. And anyway, those are my cards for today. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. And yeah, tell me down below if you're going to make this, and if you don't, just tell me why. And I'll see you next time. Bye!